सौभाग्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा येनाक्षरसमाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। वागर्ताविव सम्पृक्तौ वागर्तप्रतिपत्तये जगतः पितरौ वन्दे पार्वती परमेश्वरौ।
Was there any homework? No, no. Last one we were doing avadharana. That I need to clarify. Example was Vidyadhanam. Vidyadhanam is what?
Vidya eva dhanam.
Huh?
Vidya eva dhanam.
Vidya alone is, that knowledge is wealth. How will you explain in the form of a word? So Vidya is wealth, is a vigraha. But if you want to say Vidyadhanam, Pradhanam, suppose. How will you translate this Vidyadhanam? Let me make a sentence. Just you can raise your hand. Vidyadhanam Pradhanam Asti. Mukhyam Asti. Pradhanam is Mukhyam Asti. Can anybody translate this sentence? Okay,
Knowledge is the highest form of wealth. Vidya is the highest form of wealth.
Little idea wise you are correct. But Vidya Dhanam Pradhanam Asti. Yes.
Wealth where knowledge is the prominent.
Vidya, which is in the form of wealth, wealth in the form of Vidya is predominant or prominent.
Yes. So Vidya Dhanam, Vigraha is correct. Vidya eva Dhanam, Vidya Dhanam. But when we want to give final meaning, it will be the wealth in the form of Vidya. The wealth in the form of Vidya is Asti, is Pradhanam, is prominent or preeminent, eminent. Wealth in the form of knowledge is prominent, important. So idea is that when we translate this avadharana purva pada, vigraha will be Vidya eva dhanam. So we will be translating as wealth in the form of knowledge. Okay? So Pradhanam goes with the dhanam. Even though predominance is vidya, but grammatical uh, uh, importance is to dhanam. Because pradhanam is referring to the dhanam which is in the form of vidya. Alright, at avadharana purvapadam, I explained that eva comes before dhanam, that is not correct. Eva is going with the vidya. Avadharana means ascertainment. Ascertainment is there with the purvapada. So the first word is ascertained to be something else. And therefore it is called avadharana purvapada. Avadharana yukta purvapada it is. A samasa in which the first word is having avadharana. Avadharana means ascertainment, indicated by the word eva. So a samasa in which there is ascertainment of the first word, that samasa is called avadharana purvapada or rupaka karmadharana. So karmadharana in the form of metaphor. Earlier one was what? Purusha Vyagra. That is Upama. This is a Upama. Upama Karmadharana. Where we say Purushaha Vyagraha Iva. So, sense-wise, if we see here, Vyagra is certainly greater than Purusha because we are just comparing with it. And here we are saying Vidya eva dhanam. So, Vidya has already got the Vidya alone is wealth. There is no other wealth. So, this Vidya is given prominence. So, in terms of the importance to the meaning, here Vidya is given importance. And here the Vyagra is more prominent. But when we are giving the connection with other word, then Purusha will be important and here Dhanam will be important. I will explain this even though I am going a little deeper than required because we are just studying samasa in general, but I thought let us have some thorough understanding. If there is a word Vidya Dhanam, and you are not told whether it is a Rupaka or whether it is Upama, how will you decide? This is a description given. Vidya Dhanam Vidya Dhanam Sarva Dhananam Pradhanam. So here Vidyadhanam word, whether it is referring to Rupaka or Upama, how will you know? You cannot by heart, okay, this many words are Rupaka. So next time Vidyadhanam comes, you will say, aha, Vidya Evadhanam. But how will we know? Like Mukha Padma. Mukha Padmam. Now, how will you know that here Mukha Padma is a Upama or Rupaka? Vidyadhanam you will say here Sarvadhananam Pradhanam is there, so Dhanam. Already we have said this. My question is that when you come across such Karmadharaya Samasa, where something is compared to something else or something is equated to something else, how will you know? Is question clear? This Mukha Padma can be interpreted in two ways. What are the two ways? Huh? Mukham.
Padmam
eva iva.
Padmam iva.
Other one is
Mukham eva padmam.
now question would be which one will you take? Is question clear first? Whether Mukham Padmam Iva we should take or Mukham Eva Padmam we have to take? Okay, it doesn't, what is the answer?
Swamiji, for Iva, the Purva Pada is Pradhanam. For Eva, Uttara Padam is Pradhanam.
That's okay, but how will we know which Pradhanam? In this sentence, it will not tell that this is Pradhanam, this is Pradhanam. How will we know?
That will be the noun.
Okay. Now,
Vidyadhanam, Sarvadhanat Pradhanam. In that example, the other words, other two padam, Sarvadhanat, Dhananam, Pradhanam, is actually attributing to Vidya. So based on that, we will tell which is, what is it.
you are in right direction, but on the way you missed it. Direction is correct.
By vivaksha, we can contextually.
That is one vivaksha. What is one?
Contextually,
That is correct. One answer is correct, that vivaksha. A person can say anything. Whatever you answer you gave and I want to prove you wrong, I will say no, I did not mean this. You say Mukham Padmam Iva and I say no, not correct. If you are favorite student, I say yeah, that alone is correct. If not favorite, I will say no, that is not correct. I can, it is up to me. Yes, one criterion is, one answer is Vivakshadhina. Means what Vakta wants to say. That is one. That remains. Therefore, sometimes it may be interpreted as Mukham Padmam Iva, sometimes Mukham Eva Padmam. That is one. But there is, sometimes clue is given. You know what is clue? Indicator. Clue is given that here whether we can take Mukham Padmam Iva or Mukham Eva Padmam. So one author gives very nicely. He says, if Mukha Padmam Sahasyam, Sahasya means what? Hasya means laughter. Smile. Sahasya means with smile. Sahasyam Mukha Padmam. Lotus face, either way you can say lotus face with laughter. Sahasya. So now Sahasyam is there, means with laughter. So with laughter quality will go well with Mukha or will go with Padma?
Mukha.
It's clear? So Sahasyam goes well with Mukha. And therefore, this Mukham Padmam Iva will be the Vigraha. Because Sahasyam, Mukha is like Padma. So what will be the translation? Lotus-like face. The translation of this is what? Lotus-like face. So what is finally suggested is the face, which is like lotus. And therefore, Sahasyam can go with the face which is like lotus. And therefore, this Mukha Padmam, which is with laughter, should be interpreted as Mukham Padmam Iva. Why? Because the face alone cannot hasya, lotus cannot have a laughter. In a regular sense, when you take regular sense, then Mukha will have laughter. Therefore, it is this Mukham Padmam Iva. Because Mukha Padma, when Mukham Padmam Iva is the Vigraha, lotus like face. But suppose it is said. So here, Sahasyam, then it will go with this. Mukham Padmam Iva. But if it is said, Vikasitam, bloomed. Blooming goes well with Padma, lotus. And therefore this Mukha Padmam word will be Mukhameva Padma. Because Vikasita is going with this Padma. And Mukha Padma translation is what? Lotus in the form of a face or the face. Lotus in the form of a face. So here, lotus is finally coming into the picture. What is emerging from the word is lotus. But that lotus is in the form of face. And therefore, here Vikasitam will go with lotus. So, here it will be Mukhameva Padma. So, depending upon the surrounding words, surrounding description, we can decide whether it is Mukhameva Padmam or Mukham Padmam Eva. Is it clear? So, here in the Vidyadhanam, Sarva Dhananam Pradhanam. Among all wealth, the knowledge wealth is Pradhanam. So here Dhanam, among wealth alone can be Pradhanam. And therefore Dhanam is connected. And therefore Vidya Eva. But having said this, even if you write Vidya Eva Dhanam or Vidya Dhanam Eva, final meaning will not change. In our understanding of a sentence, there will not be any difference. Because it's just a comparison. Like our example in Kathopanishad we are taking. Sharira Rathaha. Sharira Rathaha. Now this is Upama Karmadhare or Rupaka Karmadhare? Rupaka. Generally because we have done Rupaka as well. So when Rupaka Karmadhare is there, what will be the Vigraha? Shariram Eva Ratha. What will be the translation Sharira Ratha? Chariot in the form of the body. Now, if you write the chariot in the form of the body, Shariram Eva Ratha, or you write Shariram Ratha Iva. What will be the meaning? Shariram Ratha Iva?
Body like the chariot.
The body which is like a chariot. In our final understanding, is there any difference? What we want to convey is what? The body is like a chariot. That understanding will come whether you write Shariram Eva Ratha or Shariram Ratha. Okay, only difference is the intensity of proximity, intensity of similarity. In this Shariram Eva Ratha, you are conveying more similarity, intense similarity. Means the body is the Ratha itself. So you are showing the more closeness between the upameya and upamana. And here it says like. When you say it is like, it shows that there is some difference as well. And here your difference is you are discounting. When you say shariram eva rathaha, you are discounting the differences. Here you are accepting the differences. And discounting the differences and accepting the differences, proximity is where? In discounting or accepting? Huh?
Discounting.
Discounting.
Is language clear or not? Huh? In discounting the differences and accepting the differences, where more proximity is suggested?
Discounting the difference.
Clear? No? Clear? Is clear? Discounting means what? Ignoring. So you have some difference from these some particular upamana, that you are like Devadatta. So if I say you are Devadatta, then I am discounting the differences. So I have shown more proximity, more similarity. Is it clear? So that much is the difference. In Shariram eva rathaha, the similarity is intensely highlighted. Here also similarity highlighted, but here it is more. Here differences are discounted. Is it clear? It is something like somebody says, Devadatta is telling Vishnudatta, you are like my son. Okay? You are like my son. And he said, you are my son. In both cases, he is like son only, he is not real son. Devadatta is telling Yagdadatta that you are like my son. And other time he said, you are my son. Even though he is not his son, but you are as good as my son. So, where more proximity is suggested, you are my son. Is it clear? That you are my son is what? Rupaka. And you are like my son is what? Is it clear? This is my habit. When I go into something, I have to go a little deeper. Otherwise, this much I would have been enough. But let us understand it well. That's all. Now let us go to the next one. Sanya Purvapada. They have written what is called Sambhavana Purvapada, but it looks like printing mistake. Sanya Purvapada. Does anybody have this book? Is this book, does anybody have? Is it available? Bookstore?
Yes,
Available. So if you want, you can buy it. It's a nice book. Only thing, this book is, whole book is in Sanskrit only. But it gives good example, and now you are understanding Sanskrit, so you will be able to follow. Sanya Purvapada. Like Kashi Nagari. This is the Karmadharya Samasa. Kashi Nagari. Vigraha will be what? Kashi iti Nagari. Kashi Nagari means Kashi iti Nagari. So here Kashi is the name of a city. Sanya. Sanya means name. Is the Purvapada. Sanya is the Purvapada in the Karmadharya Samasa. Therefore it is called Sanya Purvapada Samasa. And what will be the Vigraha? Kashi iti Nagari. The city which is called Kashi. Iti has got the idea of called. Kashi iti Nagari. So here Kashi Nagari means city of Kashi. In English we translate like this. Kashi or Kashi city. In fact, we make samasa in English also. Kashi city. Mumbai, Mumbai Nagari. Mumbai iti Nagari. So that is Sanya Purvapada. Sanya Purvapadam Yasmin Samase Saha Sanya Purvapada Samasa. Bahuri Samasa. What did I say in Sanskrit now? Sanya Purvapadam Yasmin Samase Saha Sanya Purvapada Samasa. Bahuri. What did you understand?
Noun, which is the
Huh?
first, the noun which is the first part of this word, that
First
is
part of the?
was samasa, that is Sanya Purvapada Samasa.
So, first word, Sanya is the name. Name is the first word of which samasa? That samasa is called Sanya Purvapada. See, Kashi is a Sanya and it is a Purvapada. Kashi is a Sanya and it is a Purvapada. Therefore, this samasa will be called Sanya Purvapada. All. But every time it is not like this. It is a very specific for this specific format where iti will come. Iti ghatita samasa. In fact, we can call it iti ghatita. Means samasa which involves the word iti, where some name of some place is given. I will give other example so it will be clear. Himalaya Parvataha. What will be the vigraha? Please raise your hand. What is that?
Himalayah iti parvata.
Himalaya iti Parvata. Now, can you give one example? Can you raise your hand? If you know, you can give one more example.
Simhika Rakshasi.
Eh?
Simhika Rakshasi.
Simhika Rakshasa. That also is correct.
But sometimes whether it comes Simhika Nama Rakshasi or Simhika Iti Rakshasi. What's the
Iti, generally iti, vigraha is iti.
Nama iti.
Naam to then it will be different. It's like a madhyam pada will be. We can give that vigraha, but it will be different type of samasa. See, he gave this. Rakshasi means female demon. Demonish also. I don't know what is the word. What is the word you know?
Demoness.
Huh?
Demoness.
Demoness. So that is called Rakshasi. Simhika. Simhika iti Rakshasi. Vigraha will be Simhika iti Rakshasi. Is Simhika has got any connection with our Kathopanishad class today? Kathopanishad class.
Rahu,
Rahu.
Rahu Shiva.
Correct, sir. Very good. That is, this is Purana background, those who have can do. Simhika's son alone is Rahu and Ketu. Simhikeya, his name was Simhikeya. That one person was there, no, one became two. After one. So his name, son was Simhikeya. And he alone became Rahu and good. I am happy. You got the link. Otherwise, you will think that Vijnana Sarthi is to where is it? Very no. Okay, clear this? Simhika's son is Simhikeya, who became Rahu and Ketu. Clear? Clear over there? No, because you are looking like this, so question mark face. Clear, no? What is clear to you?
He was sons of Simhika.
Huh?
Rahu and Ketu were sons of Simhika.
Rahu and Ketu are son of Simhika, so she delivered two.
No, one
Three.
Boy, one girl.
One.
What is one?
Simhikeya is the son of Simhika, and they are related to two, Rahu and Ketu.
Now question become full stop. So Simhikeya, that by the way. Any other? Please give me other example of Sangna Purvapada.
Surendra Loka.
Surendra Loka.
In Bhagavad Gita it is there. So last time everyone
No,
was
there
laughing
it
at
is
me.
a different meaning. Surendra iti Loka is not there.
Amra Vriksha.
Amra Vriksha. Yes. Amra Vriksha. What we call mango tree. In English no, also we samasa. So you just remember that in English also there are samasa. Mango tree is a samasa. So that is what? Amraha iti vrikshaha. Vrikshaha. Yes, Vinay.
भारद्वाज गोत्रः
Huh?
भारद्वाज गोत्रः
Bharadwaj iti vrikshaha. That can be interpreted in different way also, but we can take this as example. Bharadwaja iti gotra. Because it can be taken as a person also. Bharadwaja gotraha yasya. That also can go. But we can make it Bharadwaja iti gotra. We can make it by Vivakcha.
मूला नक्षत्रम
Atma Tattvam. Atma iti.
Atma iti tattva mein karma different.
मूला नक्षत्रम
Ganga Nadi.
Ganga. That was in my mind. Ganga Nadi. Ganga Nadi means what? Ganga iti Nadi. Ganga iti Nadi.
Swamiji, Amra Vriksha, isn't it better to say Amranam Vriksha?
Huh?
That tree of man.
Amranam Vriksha. In English, tree of mango we don't say.
Only one doubt. Then Surendra Loka, you said that is not.
Surendrasya loka is a Shashti Tatpurusha. Surendra iti loka it is not. You can say Bhuloka. Bhu iti loka, Bhuloka you can say. Suvar loka, Mahar loka, Jana loka. You can say. All are, that can be described. Bhu iti loka, Bhuloka.
Mrugalaya.
Huh?
Mrugalaya.
What is that?
Mrugalaya.
Mrugalaya.
Can
Means what?
Resident for
It is a Mrugana Malaya. Alright. We can say one more. Dasharatha Rajaha. Dasharatha Raja. Dasharatha iti Raja, Dasharatha Raja. In fact, we can say also Devadatta Chhatra. Devadatta iti Chhatra. Devadatta Chhatra.
Can we say Arshavya Gurukula? Arshavya
That came to my mind. We can say if Arshavidya is, we are considering as a name, but generally we don't interpret that way. We say Arshavidyayaha Gurukulam, Shashti. Otherwise we can say. Take the Dayananda Ashram also we can say. Dayananda iti ashrama. But generally we say Dayanandasya ashrama. But otherwise we can say, if you want to have vivaksha, you can say that Dayananda iti ashrama. Alright. Let us go to the next one. I want to cover one more. Is this clear? Sangha Purvapada Samasa. Every time we are covering only one. So let us cover. We have become Mandagati. Mandagati which samasa? Eh? What is the vigraha?
Manda buddhi yasasa.
I didn't say buddhi.
Manda
What did I say?
Gati.
gati yasasa manda gati.
What is the meaning?
Person.
Gati means what?
The person who has slow speed.
Movement. Manda gatihi yasya. One who has got slow movement is called Mandagati. Rajesh will be called what?
Tivra gati. Ati tivra gati. Ati tivra.
Rajesh provides us samasa. Samosa whether he provides or not, but samasa he provides. He is supposed to provide samosa, but he doesn't provide.
We'll offload to Vinay.
Eh?
We'll offload that to Vinay.
We are
Providing samosa, we'll offload it to Vinay.
upload
We will offload that task to Vinay.
to Vinay.
He will prepare it.
Yeah. So next Wednesday there no something.
So we have to discuss one.
Let us not discuss about it. Okay.
What would you like?
Little bit long samasa. I have to continue in the next one. Madhyama pada lopa. Lopa or lopi, both are called. Karmadharaya. Madhyama pada lopaha karmadharaya samasa. And madhyam pada lopi also they call it. Madhyama pada lopi. The very standard example is Shaka Priyaha Parthivaha. I will explain the words so it will be clear. Shaka means vegetable, cooked vegetable, okay, generally. Shaka. Priya means deer. Shaka Priya is referring to a person. Shakaha, I think Shakam or Shaka. You just see whether Shakam is there or Shakaha is there. Shakaha must be. Anyway, whatever it is, Shakam, Shakaha it means. Shakaha Priyaha Yasya. This is Bahuri. Shakaha means vegetable, dear to him, whom? That person is called Shakapriya. A person who is fond of vegetable is called Shakapriya. Is clear? Shakapriya is a Bahuri Samasa referring to someone who is fond of vegetable. Now Parthiva means king, a king. So Shakapriyaha Parthiva, a king who is fond of this vegetable. Then when we make the compound between these two, Shaka, Priya and Parthiva, then we drop the middle word. Shaka, Priya and Parthiva, when we combine, then we drop the word Priya, which is a middle word. And what will be the final compound Shaka Parthiva. Shaka Parthiva literally means vegetable king. Really speaking, Shaka means vegetable, Parthiva means king. So somebody may do vigraha like this, Shakanam Parthiva. What is the best vegetable, Varna? Huh?
Potato.
Potato?
Photo.
Huh?
Photo bands.
For you I am asking.
Tomato.
Tomato. So tomato can be called Shaka Parthiva. What is your Shaka Parthiva?
Potato.
Potato? Potato is it considered vegetable?
No, it's not a vegetable.
Huh?
It's a root only, it's not a vegetable.
Anyway, okay, let us go to the main. We are very good at diversion. So here it is not that the king of vegetables, okay? But Shaka Priya Parthiva. So when two words are combined, in which the first word is a samasa, the first word itself is a samasa, and the last word of that samasa is dropped to form a samasa, new samasa, then that samasa is called Madhyam Pada Lopa samasa. Why? Because why is Madhyam Pada Lopa? Shaka Priya Parthiva. Grossly speaking, there are three words and the middle word Priya is dropped. And therefore Shaka Parthiva. Okay. So Shaka Parthiva, when we give the vigraha, we have to again give vigraha like this. Shaka Priyaha Parthiva. Of course, you have to know the vivaksha. So it is otherwise Shakanam Parthiva somebody does, we cannot say wrong. It is not wrong. But vivaksha, we are talking about a king who is fond of vegetables. So this king will get a title. What? Shaka Parthiva. Another one interesting is Dadyodana. Dadi means curd. Udana means rice. So what we say curd rice? This is in Sanskrit called Dadyodana. So now you can ask Dadyodanam Nayatu Yachatu. So here also this, it is originally it was Dadi Mishritaha Odana. So here Mishrita means mixed. The rice which is mixed with curd. So here this Mishrita word is dropped. And we will have Dadi Odana, Dadyodana. So this is called Madhyama Pada Lopa Samasa. A compound in which the middle part is dropped. And middle part is dropped means two words will be combined, and in these two words the first word itself will be a compound. You cannot drop any word like this. The first word should be a compound. And in that compound, the second word is dropped. The second word of the first word is dropped. Second part of the first word, which is a compound, is dropped to form a samasa. Then it's called Madhyam Pada Lopi Samasa. Okay, more we'll see in the next.